Hi, 7th grade, and welcome to your review of Topic 1. I'm going to go through this pretty fast, so I want you to do either one of two things. Either complete the review sheet before you watch the video, or listen to me and watch me explain the questions first, then pause the video to write down the answer and press play when you're ready to watch the second question. Number 1, Henry runs up 10 flight of stairs. And then he runs down 10 flight of stairs. So we got up 10, which is positive 10, and down 10, which is negative 10. Does this situation represent additive inverses? Explain. Well, yes, because positive 10 and negative 10 are opposites, and their sum is 0, meaning when you do positive 10 plus negative 10 gives you 0. 5 out of 6 students said basketball is their favorite sport. What is the decimal equivalent for the number of students who chose baseball? So we do 5 out of 6, which is equivalent to 5 divided by 6. I put that in my calculator. And that gives me 8, 3 repeating. So remember, the line over the top means that it repeats. Number 3, the outside temperature decreases by 7 degrees in 3.5 hours. How would you represent the temperature change as a unit rate? Express your answer as an integer. Unit rate just means that we are going to find out how much it changed by in 1 hour. 1 unit, 1 hour. So decreases is -7. And we want to figure out how much it happened in 1 hour. Well, we know it decreased 7 in 3.5. So we're going to divide by 3.5. So this is how we would represent it as a unit rate. So let's solve. So first I'm going to put this into improper fractions. -7 divided by, going to get mad, multiply, and add. So that's 7 over 2. I can put this over 1, and I can do stay, change, flip. -7 over 1 times 2 over 7 gives me -14 over 7, which is equal to -2. Express my answer as an integer, so it's just a number without a decimal. If the temperature continues to decrease at this rate, what will the change in temperature be after 5 hours? Well, we just found out that it goes by -2 for each hour. So I'm going to take -2, multiply by 5 to get -10. Number 4, which expression is equivalent to -4/5 divided by -2/5? So I'm going to write this horizontally and check to see if that's any of my answers. No, it's not, but I do have +4/5 divided by +2/5. Well, we know a negative divided by a negative equals a positive, and a positive divided by a positive also equals a positive. So this will give us the same answer. But we can also do stay, change, flip. So we'll stay -4/5, change to multiplication, and flip -5/2. So that looks like this one. And we finished. You definitely don't ever want to change. You don't ever want to flip the first fraction. No good. Number 5, Josie deposited $450 in a bank account at the beginning of the month. A payment of $35.20 is automatically deducted each month for her gym membership. If she makes no other deposits or withdrawals, how much money is in her account at the end of 4 months? Okay, so if it's a withdrawal, a deduction, it's going to be negative. And it happens 4 times. So there's 2 ways to write this. We can do 450 minus 35.20 minus 35.20 4 times, which is a lot of work. Instead, we could just do 450, what she starts with, and then subtract 3520 times 4. Well, if we follow PEMDAS, we're going to do our multiplication before our subtraction. So I do 3520 times 4. So I have 450 minus 140.8. To give me 309.2. So this is how much money she has left in her account after 4 months. Number 6, Sean started with 15 points during a trivia game. Then he lost 15 points on one turn and an additional 20 points on his final turn. Show the change in Sean's score using the number line below. So Sean starts at 0. Oh no, he didn't start at 0. Read, Miss Justinger. He started with 15 points. So we're going to start there. Then he lost 15 points. So we're going to go back 15. And then he lost an additional 20. So we're going to go back 20 points. What was Sean's final score? -20. Number 7, which expression is equivalent to the distance between -2 and -15 on a number line? Select all that apply. Remember, distance is finding the difference, and difference means to subtract. So we've got -2 minus -15. Let's see if that's any of our answers. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. But we can also switch the order of the numbers, commutative property, and do -15 minus -2. See if that's any of our answers. Yep, here it is right here. All the rest do not work. Okay. You could also see, Miss Justinger, this turns into both positives, but -2 plus 15 is not one of our options, and -15 plus 2 is not one of our options. If they were, then we would pick them. A jewelry company loses $450, so that's going to be negative, as a result of a delivery delay. The 9 owners of the company must share the loss equally. Which integer represents the change in profit for each owner? So if they lose $450 and they have to share it equally, we're going to divide by 9. So we do 450 divided by 9, which give us -50. We know it's going to be positive, so you can take C and D right off from the beginning. Okay, we know it's going to be negative because it's a loss. A half marathon is 13.1 miles long. There's a water station every 1 in 11 over 120 miles along the race trail. Which expression represents the total number of water stations? So we have to divide up the total distance. So that just tells me I have to do D. This question literally is just asking, are we subtracting, adding, multiplying, or dividing? But if there's a station every 1 in 11 1/20ths of the whole 13.1, dividing it up will give you the final how many water stations there are. A crew is shingling a roof. They complete 6.8 feet every hour. How many square feet will they complete in 12.5 hours of work? So that's 6.8 every hour. So that'd be like 6.8, 6.8, 6.8, 6.8, 6.8, 12.5 times. So in order to do it quicker, we could do 6.8 times 12.5. I can either choose to do these both in fractions or decimals. So if I do decimals, it's 6.8 times 12.5, which gives me 85. So they will finish 85 square feet. Alexis and Mariana are hiking. Alexis climbs to the top of the ridge 415 feet above sea level. So above sea level, that's going to be positive. Mariana goes to the bottom of the valley 30 feet below sea level. So that's going to be negative. What is the vertical distance? Here is distance again. Whenever you see distance, I want you to think difference. Okay. So if we do 417, difference means subtract, and then we have 30 feet below, it's negative 30. I see the two negatives, I make them positive. So it's 417 plus 30, which gives me 447 feet. That is your vertical distance. Now, it doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in. Say we did negative 30 minus 417. Now we can use our rules of subtraction. Remember, keep, change, opposite. Keep negative 30, change the subtraction to addition, and the opposite of positive 417 is negative 417. Now we follow our rules of addition. Are the signs the same? Yes. So we find the sum. So we do 417 plus 30, which gives me 447. And our signs are both negative, so the answer is going to be negative. But would you ever say you are a negative distance from somewhere? No, you always use distance and positive. So that's why it goes back to positive 447. So you can do this question either way, but make sure it makes sense. Does your answer make sense? Does it answer the question? What is the vertical distance between Alexis and Mariana? Number 12. Mackenzie has 32 books, including 12 books by her favorite author. Express as a decimal the number of books by her favorite author out of the total number of books she owns. So she's got 12 books by her author and 32 books total. So total number out of books, favorite author out of total number. So we've got author out of total. To write it as a fraction, it is 12 over 32. But they're not asking us for the fraction. They're asking us for the decimal. Remember, a fraction just looks like a division symbol. So that reminds us we have to divide. So if we do 12 divided by 32, gives us 0.375. Is this decimal terminating or repeating? Explain. This decimal terminates because it ends and doesn't keep going. So it stops at the 5. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this review and you are going to do so great on your test. Good luck.